Next question.
Yes.
She said this deals with, I think, her guardian angel possibly. That she's smelling something, a musky almond vanilla smell. She says she's been smelling this smell for a couple years, and I think she even smelled it today when she was on the cloud. What is that? Is that like one of her guides, or is that?
That. Yes. This would be. She has. She walks with angels.
Mm-hmm.
That is their way of. That is their way of letting her know that she's not alone, and that is their way of nudging her to be aware of their presence. And to ask for their assistance. She dreams of them often. They come to her in dreams as, not with wings. They come to her as guides, as human form, to make themselves known to her. And she knows. She remembers those dreams. She sees them, and she knows, and it's their way of guiding her and
Nice.
and just being with her. They've been with her through many trials, many tribulations, much suffering, and they have much, we want to say sympathy, but we want to say empathy. We want to say both because they suffered with her, and they want her to know that, and sometimes sometimes in suffering you're pushed off a cliff, so to speak, or you pass a limit or a line that throws you into another dimension, so to speak. And she went there. And once you go there, you don't forget it, and there's no way to not have seen it or not experienced it. And so when you touch the clouds of heaven, you're forever changed. And she has. And so she shares that glow that isn't of this world, and that only people who have been pushed to that limit do. But she has come very far. She has endured. She's endured what most people would have never made anything out of their lives with what she's endured. And
Absolutely.
we just commend her.
I do have a question. What's the difference between angels with wings and angels without wings? Is there a difference?
Yes. The angels with wings are angels.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they are, that's what they do. They have a mission. They work for God, they work for Source, they're employed by the universe. The angels without wings are actual beings. They are spiritual. The best way we can describe it is okay. We say let's see how do we say this.
Are these
Angels don't procreate. God created the angels, and God creates the angels, and they have a mission, and they're His chess pieces. They're His.
Mm-hmm.
The angels without wings are beings that are created. We were all created.
Right.
Energy. We were all energy. We were also, but they are like human angels. So they don't have the wings.
Mm-hmm.
Like the angels do. They have souls. The angels aren't really, they're not human with souls. It's hard to explain.
Mm-hmm.
The ones without the wings have souls, but they're like angels. So it's like they have the God DNA in them, but He also put like the angelic DNA in them.
Interesting.
So they're very, very powerful. But they are very, very loved. Let's say they're more godlike. They're more godlike. Laugh. They weren't kicked out of the Garden of Eden. That sense of humor. They weren't kicked out of the Garden of Eden.
No.
They didn't eat the apple. Let's put that in. They didn't sin. They didn't fall.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't cast down. Yet they want to help us. We're their brothers and sisters, and they want to help us. They want to show us the way. They are the ones that use their whole brain. They're the ones who were given They were given, if you want to call them Adam and Eve, you can call them Joe and Sarah, whatever you want to call them, because it's a story, but it's a significant story to be able to explain things that, for the way we can look at it. When the certain group of people sinned, and then we are in that bloodline, human form here, we're in that bloodline. Okay, we come from that original sin of defying source, defying God, of trying to be more, trying to be better, trying to thinking we're better, the pride, the greed, like these beings didn't. They embraced God. They listened. They loved and loved and loved and loved, and they were pure, and they the life to them was a special, special gift.
And these were also the same people that in today's session with the Egypt, the people in Egypt?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They have been trying to help. Just like angels are sent to help, we each have a guardian angel. She has more than one. She needed more than one. We laughed, but she did.
Very nice.
She has more than one. She has 3. But yes, they are the ones who have. Angels have come throughout time to assist and to help, and to be and to do and to try to enlighten. This race is your race. It's connected. We are connected to these. This is. It's a race that we are gonna one day be with. And work with and walk and talk with and be.
Interesting.
They
and who are they?
They are us.
Okay.
Basically, because they're how do we say?
Kind of like us in the future, kind of thing.
Yeah,
or
that.
Us in the past.
No. They're all being. They're all knowing. They're all being. They are us, because we're as much a part of our past as our present and our future, and as we are, so are they. It's just they didn't fall, so they don't have. They didn't need to learn the harsh lessons. They didn't need to learn. They embraced who they were. They embraced the knowledge. They embraced using the entire mind, and they embraced it to use it for good. They embraced it to use it for what is good and what is knowledge, and using it all for advancement. For a better world and a better place and a better tomorrow, so to speak. Whereas here,
you don't know what any one person could be capable of here with the right knowledge or the right tools of using their whole brain. You could put it in the wrong hands of someone who would have a nuclear holocaust. Right. That's the difference. And there is no war with these people. There's no power of who's going to be better or who's going to be king or who's going to be a president or who's that is irrelevant. That's more humanistic kind of, and so they're not interested in that kind of thing. Their interest is the race and humanity and surviving, and that's who came in Egypt, and they tried to teach and show, and and then as things fell, they left.
Why did they leave? Was it a reason why they left? I know things fell, but was it a learning, like time for humankind to learn what they have, kind of thing, or they left for other reasons?
They left for other reasons. I don't know. Contamination of some kind of contamination.
Maybe too much greed, too much sickness, too much.
Yeah, there was some kind of contamination that was going to affect their race, and
makes sense.
they had to leave.
They didn't want to get contaminated.
Yeah. I'm not sure from what. I'm not sure. I know.
It's okay.
Some are here.
Right now.
Some are here, but they're mixed. They mixed with human. They fall in love too, and some of them fell in love with
that's
humans, and they conceived because they multiply as we do, and so many were left here to carry on. And they're gonna. They will return. They will return.
That's interesting.
They will return, and
when would they return?
Soon. They will return soon, and they seek. They will know, and they seek their bloodlines, and they want to be reconnected. With their bloodlines.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Would that be, it sounds like that would be a long time from now. Is that within 10 years or less than 10 years?
Within 10 years.
Wow.
Definitely within 10 years. We will live to see it.
Okay.
We will all live to see it.
That sounds exciting.
Yes, it is exciting times right now. Much is going to be happening.
Nice. That does sound very interesting. Before we leave guardian angels, you said she has 3 of them, and one of her questions is she wanted to know the names. Do the guardian angels have names? Her 3.
Mm-hmm. We say one is male and 2 are female, and they seem to say names are not important.
I've been told. So they don't go by a certain name by any chance?
I feel a Nathan or Nathaniel.
Uh-huh.
I feel a Nathan or Nathaniel, possibly. That name seems to pop up. The other 2 seem to be laughing.
Maybe they'll come up with a name later on.
I'm kind of feeling one is Anne, but it's just that name is just floated by.
It could be a sign. Okay. We'll continue on, and the other thing will be, you mentioned ancient Egypt and the race that lived among the Egyptians, and she wanted to know more information about one of her dreams. She had a vision of a spaceship, and Anubis came down from the spaceship and handed her a staff. She wanted to know what was that dream about and why.
He is here.
Anubis?
Yes.
Okay. Does he have information for her?
He admires her work in helping people cross over, and acknowledges that it's a calling. Acknowledges that it's a calling to be able to see that and know that and to help do that, and it's in his resonating with her, resonating in that calling, that duty that drew them together, because that is what he did, and so he came down to basically introduce himself and to let her know that he resonates with what she is doing, and it was like a confirmation and an honor for him to hand his staff over to her as a way of saying as a way of like handing the torch, as a way of handing the job or the torch for her to carry and to continue sending people to the light, and to continue this So it was honorable acknowledgement from him. He feels many misjudge him as a type of grim reaper or a type of death, but he says he is not death, and he doesn't bring death. He helped people who met with death to cross over to the other side, but there are some misconceptions of him being the spirit of death, and he was not. And he was just,
he's like a guide.
he says not really, not the word guide. The word is more like when he was wherever he was present with someone who died, his staff pointed to the light. So it was more like giving directions. Like, it's that way. Don't go that way, go that way. And so his staff was more like he would point to the direction for the spirit to go, because when the spirit leaves the body, it's confused to some degree, because it's like being born. Like when a baby is born, the baby, it's born, it's got to take a breath, but it's like, where the heck am I? I was in this woman's stomach for 9 months, and I was living, I was eating, I was, and then you come out into the world. Well, when the spirit leaves the body, it's kind of the same situation, where you're being born again. So you're coming out of the cocoon, and as you come out of the cocoon, so to speak, and you're the butterfly now, you're kind of flapping your wings and you don't know which way to go. And that's why some people get stuck here. It's you still have free will. They choose to stay here.
Right.
They could choose to go to the light. They don't, because they have other issues, or they have things they didn't heal from, or they want to fix, or they don't know they're even dead, because they just, So it's important to tell people and show people the way to the light, so that they can move on and pass on and go across the bridge and go to the other side, where they remain like a butterfly.
So I do have a question about Anubis.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason why he has a jackal head or a dog head? Is there a reason for that, or is that's something that we created?
Well, he's what he's saying. In Egyptian times, they all wore masks, or they wore.
So these were masks.
They wore masks. They wore The women had a lot of makeup, and the men, and they had headpieces, and they had many adornments. They adorned themselves with many things, and the jackal. The jackal symbolizes a dog, in a way. He said the jackal was to symbolize a dog or basically like a wolf, which stood for, it was the meaning behind it. It was the meaning behind, similar to our same meanings that we have with, like a dog, it being your friend, it being your best friend, it being there for you, it takes care of you, it looks after you. So
that's interesting.
He chose that to be set aside as different from the other ones, and it set him apart and aside. But it was also something they trusted. So when he would, when the kings, or when he was to lead people to the other side, they were comfortable.
Right, they knew what to look for.
They knew what to look for, and they were comfortable in seeing that it was like one of their pets, their animals, their dogs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Did the staff, well, we already talked about the staff, but does the staff hold any type of power, or it's just a symbol?
It's a symbol.
Okay.
And like a pointing stick and a symbol. Yeah. Everything in many things in Egypt were symbols.
Yes.
Symbols. So the staff was, it was a symbol also to be recognized and seen by spirit. That when you see that symbol, then to recognize that and to trust it, that you're being led.
Here's an interesting question that deals with Anubis. Was he just part of the Egypt era, or has Anubis been around in other times as well, before Egypt?
He was just, I seem to feel he's saying he was just Egypt, but he still works diligently in the spirit world by greeting people as they cross over,
I see.
and so he when he passed, he's still got he's still working.
He's still working.
He's still working, but and he leads people to the light, and he's helping people cross over, and so he never stopped. It's kind of like when he was anointed with that calling and that job, he never stopped, and he goes. It's not just here. He travels like that's why he came in a spaceship to show me that.
Wow.
That he goes to other worlds. He's really busy. He's a busy guy. And then by giving handing the staff, it's kind of like, okay, well, you do this while you take care of this while I'm gone.
Right.
So I don't doubt that he's given a staff to many people. It's not like I'm chosen. He's it's just anybody who does that kind of work, or that he feels has a similar calling upon them in that line of work. He kind of what do you call certifies you.
Gotcha.
So like I got certified. and there's many others that he has certified to continue his work. Just like when you go to a Reiki class and you get certified, you continue the work of the Reiki, the first man who ever created Reiki. It's like, so he has been since Egypt certifying people in many solar systems and worlds.
Before I ask the next question, does Anubis have any statements or anything he would like to share, a message to you?
I just feel like I just feel him saying, never give up and keep progressing, and keep, keep pointing my staff where to go.
Exactly. Very nice. Can I ask a fun question? This would deal with the Sphinx. Was that, some people say that was Anubis, a jackal, a dog, the Sphinx, and they changed the face. Is that true or false?
The Sphinx is I'm hearing it was it's more like it was made to look more like the pharaoh, the king and his dog, but not like the king sitting on his throne like a lion guarding the throne, and so not as a jackal, and not to honor him. To it was more about the kings and guard to guard like a lion, to guard the pyramids for what's contained inside
the pyramids. Interesting.
It's kind of like when you have guard dogs. To guard, it was basically stating that what's inside is very important.
Nice.
And so they stand guard.
Interesting. Is there two of them, or is there one of them? Two Sphinx or one?
Two.
There is two?
Yes.
And where is the other one? Because they're having a hard time finding the other one. I'm assuming it's buried.
Yeah. I would say it'll be discovered. Earthquakes. Earthquake. Buried, I guess.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did she have a past life in Egypt?
I see a servant girl.
So she did have a past life in Egypt?
I see a servant girl, tray, a gold tray with food, servant maid.
Okay.
She wanted to learn, so she's a servant girl, but on the sides she was always trying to find important discussions are over here.
Mm-hmm.
Important discussions. She was a servant for royalty. And so there was many things that went on
Interesting.
that she could learn.
Okay. So she should explore that later?
Yes.
Or could explore that later? And one last past life question. Did she have a past life in Atlantis?
Yes.
Okay.
She was like a governess. She was a well-to-do and prominent and well-known and high up in very beautiful and very beautiful, very open-minded and very kind of for the people, for the country, for the people kind of person. Maybe even in some type of politics, so to speak. But well loved and well
loved by the people.
Yes.
Yes.
And was ranked high in I just see just someone very beautiful, like skin that's like silk, very beautiful skin and dark hair and just but very loving person, very happy. A happy time.
Not bad. What color are the eyes?
Blue.
Blue.
Like the sea.
And what colors? You mentioned dark hair. What color is the skin?
Really white. Like, just pretty ivory white.
Interesting. Oh. Would that be something to explore down the road?
Yes.
Okay.
There are many that would not like to see this take place and does not want this love on earth and does not want this union because it would help too many people and it would serve its purpose out and so there are forces that are against it to stop the heaven on earth.
That's interesting. You said is it people that don't want this to happen, or is this? It's forces coming through people. Okay.
It's darkness coming through other people being used. We said heaven on earth that's coming. This is a part of the heaven on earth.
And they're trying to stop it, slow it down.
And it's trying. They were kind of what we would call the leaders of it, and dark forces not wishing heaven to be on earth, or come against it to prevent this plan that is supposed to exist on this earth. And with that being said, Source will win. With that being said,
it's the playground.
darkness's days are numbered. With that being said, we are living in great times, and in these great times we will see darkness put to rest. And when this happens, all eyes will be open, all hearts will be open, all minds will be opened, and all truth will be known and seen, and there will be heaven on earth.
Wow.
But in the meantime, we suggest that she continue her work and push forward.
You mentioned the darkness. Where did this darkness come from? Why is there darkness? I guess that's a complicated question.
It's complicated, but it could be made easy. We say God, Source, Yahweh, the I Am, all the names that God uses is light. And there is also a force that hates the light, and that is the darkness. And he goes by many names. And he will fall. He was given power by God to, because of the two races, he was given that power for God to be able to weed out who was going to be a loyal race that was going to move in a forward direction of peace and love. And this darkness is greed, power. It's a cancer. It's a parasite. It's a cancer. It exists, and and it doesn't matter. Just like it doesn't matter really what you call the light and what you call God. It really doesn't matter what you call the darkness. But it is something that exists, and it is something that has infected this world here. It's not allowed in the other one, and it's prevented from going to the other one, and that's why they're able to keep their glow and keep their light and be able to use their entire brain. And that's why they're such an advanced race, because they didn't spend time on that kind of stuff. They used their energy wisely, and they used it to advance their race, where man didn't.
All right.
Man chose poorly. Man chose very poorly. Most people are good. Most people are good. The ones that aren't are usually in higher power, and they usually and they know ahead of time. They're born to come and disrupt, to prevent heaven on earth. They've come here with that mission to prevent heaven on earth.
Wow, that's interesting.
And so, but we know who wins. It's foretold. It's written. We know who We know what's going to happen. But we are living in times now that we will see it come to pass.
Wow. Interesting.
Yes.
Very exciting stuff. Very exciting.
Yes.
Do you have any messages for her today? Anything you would like to tell her?
Not to be so hard on herself. To know that what she's thinking and feeling, the dreams, the visions, the prophecies, this is all true, and it's all about her, and it's because of her openness and willingness to see and to learn and to help and to do. That basically to give herself credit for all that she has accomplished and all that she has done and all that she is and is becoming and will be, and not to put a halt or to stop her calling and what she came here to do, even if she has to do it alone. She's never alone. She is never alone. And to take comfort in the fact that even though there was an agreement and it was to come and do it, with someone, that's not to lose focus of what the mission is, with or without that person. To hold tight and hold true to what the mission is here and the calling is here, and not to hold back, not to wait. And things just might surprise her on how it turns out.
Interesting.
It could be he comes back and finds her. It could be she can meet someone who could be a very big help, and that she could be with in a different kind of way, but still in a beautiful way.
Interesting. Very powerful message. Is there a reason why you brought her in today?
Yes.
And what was the reason?
For her to believe again in herself, for consoling, for comfort, for clarity, for her to know that we laugh, that she's not crazy. She wonders sometimes that this is real. It's all real, whether you see it or not, whether you hear it or not, whether you feel it or not. There's many realities, and we would like to see her go with the flow.
That's my saying.
We would like to see her just release it all and let go and go with the flow, And she will find that she will be led, directed, guided in ways she never thought possible. And enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride.
Mm-hmm. Yes. A lot of great information was shared today. A lot of interesting stuff about Egypt and so Anubis. Would this be something I could share?
Yes.
Okay. Should she have another session? Would you recommend that?
We would recommend a future session, but we would recommend that she take this information and she listens to this again.
Yes.
And that she
That's her homework.
and then that she would it's going to take her some time to to digest this.
Yes.
And it's going to take her some time to apply it to her life. And that will take some time to just to incorporate it into her life, and then she will be ready.
Yes.
Yes.
It sounds about right. Today, a good amount of stuff was talked about.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Sounds good. Okay. Before I say goodbye to the higher self, is there anything that you would like to discuss that we did not discuss today? Or do we discuss with everything that we needed to talk about today?
We would say more exercise.
Good.
Walking, treadmill, just to move that energy to the areas that are needing it. This will help with insomnia, and this will help with different things. Exercise, far too sedentary in many ways, so more to, we would say, to get out of the head and get into the body, get out of the so much of the spiritual aspect of herself, and get more concerned into the physical, making the body healthier so that it can keep the spiritual balanced.
Yes.
So she needs balancing spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, and we would suggest that the foods and the and exercise and then the getting back, working, healing, all of that will ignite her into balancing the systems and living life more in a fuller aspect.
You mentioned foods. What kind of foods should she eat, and what foods to stay away from?
She we know her blood type is the O negative, and they say for your blood type, for that blood type, you're to eat red meat. We know she doesn't care for red meat as much as as she cares, she likes vegetables. She stays away from the fruits. We would say it's okay. The fruits are great. Go with the fruits. It's a good sugar. It's not going to put on weight. We would say it would balance her. And yes, go with the minute. Try all the different kinds of fruits. Veggies are fine. We would say that a little red meat, not and we say okay with the chicken and the turkey that she likes, but a little bit red meat is good for her blood system. She needs that, but we would say make sure that it's all organic and all natural and the non-GMO. We would say that to watch, because
very important.
so she doesn't ingest any. She's very sensitive to chemicals, and because of her high energy antennas, she will sympathize with the cow or the lamb or the sheep or the goat or the whatever she eats. She picks up even on their energy, and so if they're grass-fed and they're normal, free spirits, it will be better for her than if she was to eat something abused.
Right.
Or
makes sense. Is there any food she needs to stay away from? Whether it's a drink, any types of drinks or any types of foods she should stay away from?
She likes her red wine a little too much.
She's not going to like the sound of that.
She is fine with the red wine, but she needs to do it less often and not as much at one time.
What do you recommend?
The red wine is okay.
Maybe
just balance again. Balance. There are a lot of nitrates and things that are in some chemicals that sort of she's kind of getting a lot of stuff that's not organic and not natural, and can affect the system. So we would say, and we know she doesn't like the organic wine. It doesn't taste the same. But we would say
organic wine.
We would say get used to it, and learn to like it. And that may actually make you drink less. She is a very health conscious person. Doesn't like smoke or really drink. She stays away from gluten, and that is good. We would say there are very few glutens that are okay for her. Very few, and yes, she's lactose intolerant, and she's very careful about a lot of the things she eats, because her intestines are very very sensitive to the energy that flows through it. And so as these certain foods and these certain things, we would also say to maybe if she could be conscious of blessing her food before she eats it. Doing a little blessing of may this food have good energy, take away anything that is
that makes sense.
Yeah, basically a little blessing of the food to clear the negative energy, or to clear that, if there was negative energy even in the hands that made it,
right,
that she would bless it in her own words, and just say, let this be nutritious, and let it only nourish my body, and may I expel the rest that's not good for me, or that doesn't need to be, that kind of thing.
I like that. Can you share a food blessing with us?
Well,
or how does it go?
Her, we laugh. God is good, God is great, and we thank Him for our food. Amen. Her grandkids would say that.
Right. A blessing that clears out the energy.
But
the negative energy.
We would just say, and she's grown up with saying grace at meals, the old way of saying the grace, but basically, even the water that she drinks, she grabs it and she drinks it, and we say just take a couple seconds. Don't be preoccupied with Facebook and social media and things like that. Take 2 seconds, and even if you just say the simple words of, God bless this water, may it only be nutritious to my body. If you say, I clear any and all negative energy that may have attached to this water or this food, I send positive, loving energy to this food. Thank you to the plants for giving your life for me, for giving your life force energy for me to give me energy and life force. Thank you to the animal that you gave your life for me, may it be nutritious for my body. It can be very, very, it could be just the intention, even just having a simple intention in your mind, and you say it in your mind, like, may this be nutritious for me, and thank you. Like giving thanks. It's more about the gratitude, the intention, and having the gratitude and the thankfulness that we take so much for granted, and we rush through life, and we don't realize that everything came from a source, everything came from somewhere, and just be thankful and grateful to it, and because you're getting ready to put it in your body, and so it's going to make you, break you, or and with getting permission and gratefulness and thankfulness is and it all starts with intention, simply by having the intention.
Very nice. Do you have to say the prayer out loud, or can you say it to yourself?
You can say it to yourself, because you could be in a place with a bunch of people at a restaurant, and as long as you're sending the intention into your food, it knows.
Perfect.
Because you're sending positive energy, you're sending blessings, you're sending, even if you just in the restaurant and in your mind you say, bless this food, and I send it love and positive energy, and thank you for nourishing my body. Having the intention and the thought in your mind is as powerful as saying it.
Wow. I like the sound of that.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for all the information, and thank you for everything, and showing us all this great information. So.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I wish you the best in love and light, and thank you for bringing her in today so she can get some healing and some information that she needed. Oh, Anubis, was that pretty cool or what?
Loved it.
Man, that was pretty neat. So, it explains the shaft, handing over the torch to you. The reason for the staff was like him showing, the people to the light and everything. And that he kind of gets a bad rep because, he's Anubis and the god of the Lord, but he's serving a greater purpose.
Right. I kind of saw him like comparing himself and I saw like the Grim Reaper kind of in a black, hoodie thing, like with this sickle, and he's like, that's not me, like I'm not that, it's like it's different.
It's something more, right. And it gave me a better understanding too of Anubis, because I have a little small statue in the other room. You know,
Oh.
I have like Egypt and so on, Greek, Roman, and all that stuff shelf. But it gave me a better understanding of Anubis as well. That hey, like the reason why this is happening, and like it's a mask, and then I guess with that mask it becomes that energy signature, and you know right away who he is. So it kind of makes sense.
Well, and I saw the Sphinx thing, but I saw a pyramid, and I saw one on each side, and I don't, like I said, I don't know Egyptian stuff, so I don't know how many they got, and I don't have no idea. I never really.
It's one of the questions going around.
So I mean, how many do they only have one?
Right now, yes. We only see one.
Huh?
We only see one Sphinx.
Oh, see, I have no idea. I saw a pyramid, and I saw one sitting on each side of the pyramid.
Gotcha.
And that's what I saw. But
some people think
I don't know whether I like I said, I never really. I just found out about
Anubis.
Anubis. I always want to call him Anubis.
Anubis.
Because, like I said, I'm not familiar with any of that. And I'm familiar they have pyramids, but I never knew. Yeah, that was. I remember what was said, and that was.
Yeah, but some people think that the second Sphinx is on the other side of the pyramid. But in your vision, it seems like one's on the left, one's on the right, kind of thing.
When I saw it. What I saw was that there are two. They're not together. They were like
right.
One was on one side of a pyramid, and one was on the other side of the pyramid. Now whether it's like wherever, I don't know, but I just know that they were two. There were two, and I just saw two, and I saw them facing in the same direction.
Gotcha.
But they weren't like side by side. They were separated by the
right.
pyramids. So I don't know, I kind of felt when I saw it like maybe one of them either caved in with an earthquake or broke apart in an earthquake or slid off into the waters. I don't really know where the other one is, but I saw like where the big stones that make the pyramid. I saw like where if you could take one out, there might be like something in there, like compartments. I saw like even some little tunnels or something like that lead from one point to another point where they just hid either like hieroglyphic stuff or they hid important
documents.
Information of some sort, or drawings of things on it, but maybe they, instead of it being where when you walk in and you would see it, they turned it around and put it in that way. So like that it's information that's protected, but it's right. Not facing where you would see it. It's facing
That's pretty cool.
Like inside the wall kind of thing. Like if we would hide something inside a wall and replaster it, but it's kind of like I saw it like turned around the other way, not facing us. So like
you mentioned that there's hidden chambers in the pyramids.
Yeah, like there's just stuff that and I really felt like an earthquake. I don't know if they even had an earthquake there, and I don't know. I'm not familiar with the history and all that, but I felt like the earth had moved and there was some kind of earthquake or something, so a lot of stuff got lost or went down somewhere, or it's somewhere that like hard to find, maybe right. Buried. And I'd have to research. They did say that
the pyramids did survive so many earthquakes.
Oh, okay. Like I said, I have no knowledge really of Egypt, but I should research that and see. But I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, and then the energetic beings, the aliens among the Egyptian people.
Oh boy, that was.
That was interesting, huh?
That was very interesting.
Had a certain glow to them.
The only way my mind can say how I saw it was like if Jesus was walking around the people or something. It was like that. Like you know how Jesus had a kind of like a glow, and he was all just goodness. It was, but it wasn't Jesus. But I'm saying it was.
Yeah.
You know, I knew it wasn't Jesus, but it was like a race that would be like a Jesus race. That they, you know, they just were. They were beautiful, human, but human, kind of like human in all its greatness or something. Like had, you know, just like a glow to them, but it was more of a holistic, natural glow.
Nice.
Like just light, positive energy, and just walking around, like regular people. But I just felt like they were a much more advanced, like a human race that was way further advanced than the humans that are here.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. And you did have a past life in Egypt and in Atlantis. At Egypt, you was like a servant, a maid. You was serving food from a gold tray. So you wanted to explore that life. And then Atlantis was pretty interesting. So you did have a past life. You was well known, very beautiful, kind. You was well known by the people, loved by the people. Beautiful dark hair, beautiful skin, blue eyes, and white ivory skin.
Yeah.
So.
She was, the picture I saw her was just, like what someone might call Snow White almost, you know. It was that kind of, just beautiful and just, pure, and, she was just, yeah. And the servant girl I found kind of funny, because it was kind of like she had, this thirst for knowledge so bad that, and I saw her walking around with a tray, but then she was eavesdropping on everybody's conversations in the palace, because then that way she wasn't like with people out there that were just, you know, right. I don't know what they were doing, but in the palace there was more knowledge, and more where the conversations that she could overhear were like about their travels or about this or that, or, you know, and so she thrived on that, you know, and I just felt her excitement in that, like, yeah, I'll walk around with a tray of grapes or whatever, because I'm hearing all this stuff, and it's feeding my brain, it's feeding my, you know, my soul with knowledge of what's out there and what exists past this.
Yes. And we do have a quest for acquiring knowledge.
Yeah.
It's one of our traits.
Yeah. So it was neat, because she didn't know of other worlds. She only knew of that, you know, place. And so it was, you know, there was people that would come in and from other places, and just, you know, it was neat. But her thirst for knowledge it made me laugh. Any kind of knowledge, even if it was hearsay. She didn't care.
Yeah, and then later on, when you're ready, you can explore that later on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but right now you gotta digest all this and all this stuff from the video. So
yeah,
which sounds about right. That's what they want you to focus on this first. Pretty much, your main message is to meet people, move on, have fun, live life, go with the flow, and that's what I like to say. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was funny, because that's one of my words.
Really?
Go with the flow. Even my friend makes fun of it.
Oh, that's funny.
So
they must have knew that, whoever or whatever that was.
Absolutely. So, you know, live your life, be happy, have fun. Life is supposed to be fun. Meet people, go with the flow. Just do what makes you excited. By you helping others and living your life will heal you even more. Mm-hmm. You know, a couple of things that's on your list for healing will help with that, because you're going to learn from that, and also
and I may meet somebody in that same field, and exactly. You know, and then and it might just work out perfect, you know, for this life.